Today we're going to make a syrup, which is a really simple way of making up a medicine for kids especially. Okay, so if you're a mum, single mum, or even just a parent who's got kids who, if they get sick and you want to make up something really easy that they're going to be compliant with taking, syrup's the easiest way to do it. Okay, so today what I've done is I'm making up a syrup for coughs with some herbs in it. I've already made up the extract, which is a decoction, okay, which is made by simmering the herbs for about 20 minutes, half an hour. Then I'm going to combine that with some sugar, which kids will love. Obviously you can't give this to anyone who's diabetic, so if you've got a diabetic child or a person who's diabetic, you can't give them this with the sugar, but you can actually substitute honey if you want to, or you can use stevia if you want to change that around. So what I've got here is about 300 ml of liquid, which is a decoction that I made, and I'm going to add in an equal amount of sugar, so I'm putting in 300 grams of sugar. It's very easy. I'm just going to melt the sugar in the decoction on the stove. Before you bottle it, you need to let it cool down completely, because if you bottle it and it's still warm, what's going to happen is you're going to get condensation in the bottle, and then you're going to have a problem with that because you'll actually get bacteria growing in there. Okay, so it's got to be completely cool before you bottle it. Once you bottle it, put it in the fridge so it keeps it and preserves it. Just leave the lid off a little bit so that if it does actually start to ferment and a bit of gas gets going in the bottle, it can actually have a way of releasing. Otherwise you're going to come into your fridge one day, find a lot of glass everywhere and a lot of sticky stuff, which is a real pain to clean up and not very friendly. So it's pretty easy. I just have to turn the stove on. I've made up this decoction with some licorice, some mint, some hyssop, some elderflowers and some hibiscus flowers. The hyssop and the mint were fresh, the others were dried. I made this up for coughs. It's actually for a cough, or you could use it for colds as well. What I did was I put the herbs into some distilled water. I only use distilled water because it's clean, there's no bacteria, there's no possible risk of any contamination. Okay, so if you're going to make any of these decoctions for making up these sort of preparations, you need to use distilled water. So I'm going to put the mixture in here, and then I'm going to add the sugar, which I've measured out just prior to this, one that I already made earlier. So I'm going to put the sugar in here. I've got the stove on low, and I'm just going to dissolve this in here. This takes a few minutes to do that, and once it's all dissolved, then I can switch this off and let it cool, and I'll bottle it once it's completely cool. This is also a really good way of making up herbal medicines for people that are elderly, also for people that have just come out of hospital, say post-op, that really can't take a herbal tincture because of the alcohol, or also for people who are alcohol intolerant, say people who have religious constraints on alcohol, or alcoholics, obviously. So it's a really simple way of getting herbs to be available for people who can't take a tincture or a fluid extract. Okay, the sugar's dissolved, so this is ready to put aside. I'm going to let it cool. It has to be absolutely stone cold. Then I can bottle it and put it in the fridge. I've labelled the bottle so I know the date that I've actually put it in, because the syrup's only kept for generally a couple of months. You have to use them by then. Generally, for a child, just about a couple of teaspoons. For an adult, a tablespoonful. You can use it straight away. Even while it's warm, you could use it, but it's better to wait till it's a bit cool because it's probably a little bit hot right now. And it's as easy as that.